So how you doing? Hey, today I actually just woke up from a good long hard nap. She's nice and chilly out here. But we're going to go through another saw here and do some repairs to it. We're going to basically have to assess everything and see what's going on and see if we can get this thing running properly for a gentleman. So what do you say we take a look at this saw? It is a Stihl MS250 and it looks like it's a low hour saw. So I don't know. Why would this thing need worked on, right? Let's check it out. So here it is, Stihl MS250. Just by looking at the bar, I'm going to say that it is probably a low hour saw. I can confirm that this is actually the original bar that came on this saw. So we do know that it does have a low hour usage. But look at that chain. That is what you call some safety chain right there. We might look at doing something about that. You see that? We might address that, but what do you say we kind of go over this thing and see what's up with it? Now, if we look for sawdust chips or whatever, we can see she's relatively clean, so he's definitely not running it with a super dull chain. So let's go ahead and take a look at this air filter and see what we might got going on under this hood. All right, so we do got some fines in there. She's gonna need blowed out some. And that filter looks like it could use a good cleaning. So we will address that. But what do you say we get this thing fired up and see what might be wrong with it? All righty. All right, so the saw's running lean. Could you tell? You should be able to hear a pop in the engine. And whenever I took it to full throttle, we didn't hear a 4-stroke. So she's definitely lean. So what do you say we give this thing a quick tune? So I just noticed an issue. The air filter isn't properly on. And you probably can't see it. Do I have a light here? Alrighty, can you tell? The airbox has a lot of fines in it. And she's being a little weird on the tune. So what do you say? What do you say we do a compression test? See where this thing's sitting. She's sitting just a hair over 120 pounds. I'm not certain what these saws average new. You know, a lot of my builds, like whenever I'm building a saw, I try to get them to 175 plus. And 120, I don't know. We'll take a look and see what it's supposed to be. I'll try to put the text on this video what people are seeing, you know, as good compression on these saws. But definitely had an air filter issue there. Just wasn't on correctly. I'm debating on pulling the muffler. It was pretty lean on both the high and the low speed circuits. I had to give it probably more than a quarter turn on each one. Now, he told me he was having trouble restarting it once it was warmed up. Let's see how she restarts right now. Okay, this is a no choke start. This is a no choke warm start. I definitely got it tuned a little rich on the high speed and the low speed both. Give it a little turn back. All right, let's try it again. See if we get this tuned up a little better. All right, I'm pretty satisfied with that. We'll give it some test cuts here and some wood, just not tonight. We'll throw that on the end of this video. But for now, let's go ahead and look at this chain, see what we can do about it, make it look a little better than that. Looks like it's still factory sharpening, so, you know, we'll give it a little better edge than what comes from the factory. So, alrighty, let's get the chain done. All right, so I've been grinding on chain for a good while. So this saw is probably going to be cold now. So I'm going to try to restart it and see how she does. All right, so if you didn't notice it, the air filter was falling off. So I used some paracord to tie it on. The clips just aren't holding. I went ahead and did chain. I took care of the safety features. They're gone. I only did that because I know the guy. So, you know, that's the only reason I did it, is I took them off because of who it was for. Normally I would not do that. But yeah, all the safety features of the chain are gone now, and the chain is sharp. But I still got to set the rakers. So I'll be doing that tomorrow, and I'm going to give the bar a light touch. Make sure it's in good order tomorrow as well. And then we'll be giving it some test cuts. The issue with this saw, he was telling me, was that he couldn't get it to restart once it was good and warmed up. So I'm pretty certain the saw was running pretty lean, and we tuned her up a little bit, gave it a bit more fuel, and I think that's probably going to solve all his issues. But we'll give it a test and see if we can get it to duplicate that problem tomorrow. So stick around, and she'll be up just in a moment for you. Alrighty. All right, so it's early the next morning. I kind of stopped there at a point. I drained his gas just to be certain. So we're actually running my mix now. I don't know what he runs. I use Super Technoplate. So we're going to see if there's anything going on with the fuel. and I'm freezing right now. It's cold, but I got the chain done, the bar's back on and everything. We're gonna give her a fresh start here this morning and see how she runs. And then as long as everything works out, we're gonna take it in. I'm gonna grab some wood at the other house. I'm working on getting that mess cleaned up. So we're gonna be going in and grabbing some wood out of there. And we'll take this saw along and make some test cuts while we're there. So yeah, that's where we're at. So what do you say we give this thing a test? If, there it is. Thought I lost my screwdriver. So yeah, let's give this thing a little test run right now. Cold start. So nothing looked out of the ordinary. I think we're good to go. So go give it a little more testing. What do you say? We'll work at getting things loaded up, head to the other house and do a little test run. He's probably gonna say something about the oil because you can smell mine a lot more. I run Super Technoplate and it's got a very distinguishable odor to it, if you know what I mean. You can't miss it. So I'm curious to see if he'll notice that. Now, I want to tell you something. I did pull a muffler off and I do believe this saw is not broken yet. I don't see any signs of the rings seating yet. So like there isn't a single there isn't a single sign on them rings that they are seating. So I'm suspicious that this saw is actually more low hours than I thought. And like the missing paint and stuff might just be from riding around in a bit of a pickup truck or something. But yeah, those rings, I mean, I don't see any signs of them rings seated or being seated or whatever. So if you're noticing a little fluctuation in the tune, you know what I mean? Like it's not hitting this certain RPM and just holding it absolutely perfectly. It's probably because the rings aren't completely seated yet. So pressures inside the engine will fluctuate a little. And as they fluctuate, the tune will fluctuate. Now I will have to inform him that he's probably going to have to give me this saw a couple of times here because the tune's going to change on him as time goes on. So he's going to have to kind of get into a routine of bringing it to me. Probably with each sharpening or something, just so I can keep an eye on the tune for a little while, because she's going to end up running fat on him and he's going to get angry. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that we got to be sure that we communicate properly with him. See, as time those rings seat, the saw's going to start running richer and richer, and then once he gets into the summertime, he's probably going to be like, it'll probably hardly run. It'll be four-stroking all over the place. So we've got to make sure we, communicate with them all those details. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get her in for a test run. All right, so we got the MS250 tested. I've got it tuned pretty rich, and he's definitely going to have to bring it back a couple of times as it breaks in. I noticed it, I tried to lean the low speed out a little bit to help get rid of some of the sluggishness of the throttle, and it didn't like that. So I fattened it back up. The tune is a little erratic, and I'm hoping it's just because of the it not being broken completely. There's a chance that it ate enough fines that it kind of lost some compression, but it's still running. It's still pulling with power and everything. So, we're going to leave it. We're just going to kind of communicate everything with him. Let him know it's, just a little lower than it should be on compression. And we're hoping that it's just because it needs broke in more. We're basically going to play this safe, keep the saw a little rich, and just ask him to bring the saw back periodically to, just to kind of give it a good once over and keep up with it periodically, you know what I mean? But otherwise, I'm happy with the results here. His complaint was that it couldn't get it to restart once it was good and warm, and I'm not having any of those issues. So we're pretty certain that the tune was what was causing that issue. It was very lean when I first started it, and I think he was getting the saw a little hot and being lean and everything, just enough stuff going on there that it didn't want to restart. So, I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. And hey, we'll catch you on the next one. Later.